Welcome back. Today we're doing spaghetti and meatballs with a pepperoni twist. So I'm going to show you how I make my sauce. A couple of things that we're going to do is I've already cut up my pepperoni and I already have 5 ounces of ground beef in here. And so to the ground beef we're going to add a half a teaspoon of salt. And then we're going to add 2 teaspoons of Italian seasoning, and make sure you level it off because that's the only way you'll know that you have exactly 2 teaspoons. Okay. And so we have that in there, and I'm just going to mix it up a little bit with my hand, roll it around in there and get all them spices worked into the meat. This is going to give it wonderful flavor. We don't need an egg to hold it together. All you need is the meat and enough spice that you can taste it. Spice makes the meal sometimes, doesn't it? Yes. I've always been big into spices. Okay, and so this is what our meat looks like. Smells delicious. Now at this point, you could put garlic in here, you could put Parmesan cheese in here, you could put onion powder in here, you could put a lot of things in here. I'm just going to put the salt and Italian seasoning. That's all I'm going to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to make, and we don't want big meatballs because we have a small crock pot, okay? So just pull off like that and drop them in there. So I'm hoping to get at least six small medium meatballs. So that's 2. That's 3. And don't pound them on top of each other either. I think I'm going to get 5. Because we don't want them to all stick together. Just want them on the bottom kind of. I'm going to let that stay that size. So, out of 5 ounces of meat, I got 5 meatballs. So, that's probably about an ounce each, right? I did my math. All right. Cool. So, to the meatballs that are raw, not cooked yet, we're going to add 1 large can of petite tomatoes. Petite diced tomatoes. 1 28-ounce can. Just add the whole can right in there like that. There we go. Then this is a preference thing. I like jalapenos. We like a spicy sauce in this house. And I also like the flavor the green pepper gives sauce. So I'm going to put a little bit of diced green pepper in there and a little bit of jalapeno. While I'm dicing this up, how many folks out there have cooked pepperoni in their sauce? I learned it. I was much younger, and I was hanging out. I was friends with an Italian girl. And she invited me home to dinner. I used to live up in Ohio, and there was a lot of Italians that lived close to us, but she was the only one that I had made, pretty good friends with. And she invited me out, or she invited me to her house for dinner. And they had pepperoni in their sauce, and I think it's the best sauce I ever ate in my life. Okay, so here's your amount of green peppers. This is how much I'm going to put in for mine. So we're going to say a handful, okay? And just dump them right in there, like so. And then I will put this up for later. And then the jalapeno, I'm going to cut that end off like that. And then I'm just going to do probably half of this jalapeno because we're working with such a small container. Let me do that much. We like spicy. We like spicy. Okay, so we have our meatballs in there that we've mixed up. We have our sauce put in there. We have some green peppers, and we have a little bit of jalapeno in there. Now I have already cut this up. This is my pepperoni, and I chunked it. This was what it looked like, and I cut it in half. I don't like the whole pieces. I like it cut in half so it's easier to eat. And so, see, let me 2, 4, 6. So there's 8 pieces of pepperoni here. And we're going to put that in there. That adds amazing, amazing flavor. And so now I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of sugar. And I'll tell you why I do this. And if you're a diabetic or you're watching your sugar, you do not have to do this. But sugar has a tendency, just a little bit, has a tendency to take a little bit of the acidity away from spaghetti sauce. And a lot of times that's better for my belly to not have so much acidity, okay? And then I'm going to put 1 teaspoon of basil leaves. And there's a story why I have them like this. So I buy bulk spices. And I will divide them into my jars. And then I have the vacuum thing that goes over top of it. So my extra jar I vacuum sealed. Because I do go through a lot of spices. I love spices. I think spices can make or break a meal. So that's why I have them in jars. And my jars will have what's on top. And then that's all I got to do is just look and see. This is my onion powder. Golly, I think I bought 2 or 3 pounds of onion powder to get it at a really great price. And then I just vacuum sealed the other ones, okay? So we're going to put in here, I'm going to put a heaping teaspoon of basil. Because I happen to love basil. I'm going to put a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic in there. And then to that we're going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And then we're going to add onion powder. And I'm going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. Just like that. Okay, so this time when you stir it up, you need to be extra careful because you have your raw meatballs in the bottom. But we want to stir up all these spices in this tomato. And so you're just going to have to just stir it lightly. You can move the meatballs. You can bring them to the top. That's fine. I'm going to set this on high for 5 hours. That is plenty of time for this to cook. If you need longer time, you could set it on low for 8 hours. It's not going to hurt this particular meal to sit that long. And then we're going to come back and I will have cooked some spaghetti. We like the thin vermicelli spaghetti. And I will show you that plated and how good it looks. I can't let you taste it, but you'll have to make it so you can see just how wonderful this is. And how easy. Was that not easy? That is just, you can throw that together in the morning before you walk out the door to go to work. It is very, very quick and very easy to throw together. All right, we will be back with the finished product. Look at this. We got our pepperoni, we have our meatball, and I went ahead and made some homemade bread in my bread machine. Basil, garlic powder, and Parmesan cheese. So this is going to be a lovely addition to this beautiful meal. So here's my meatball, and I'm so excited to try the meatball. Oh yeah. That is wonderful. Outstanding. Easy meal, budget friendly. Yum. Like and subscribe. Coming to you every Friday, 4 p.m. I'll post a new easy crockpot meal for 1. Subscribe. Bye.